Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Michelangelo, and I'm here to show you the GitLab CI/CD YAML language service. I'm here to show you how we can bring the full GitLab CI/CD configuration experience to the editor, and then on top of that, provide advanced language features. So let's dive into it. So if you don't already know, GitLab CI/CD has very specific syntax rules that allows developers to configure their CI/CD pipelines. An example of one of these rules is the extends key, which allows you to reuse your configuration sections that you've already made in your GitLab CI/CD file. Additionally, these rules must be validated against your GitLab instance. And a typical way of doing that is with the pipeline editor. So the pipeline editor is a browser-based tool that allows you to edit your GitLab CI/CD configuration file, perform some basic validation against your GitLab instance, and visualize your GitLab CI/CD pipeline. This POC is showing how we can bring those features and a few more features from the browser directly to the developer's editor by leveraging the GitLab language server. So let's jump into it. I have the GitLab UI project pulled up here with its corresponding GitLab CI/CD configuration file. And one of the first things I want to show you is validation against your GitLab instance. In this file, I'm going to go ahead and delete the stage, and this is going to cause an error, specifically a diagnostic error that maps the error to the lines at which the error exists. So in this case, we've deleted a stage, and because that stage no longer exists, it's no longer valid. And this configuration is fully validated against the GitLab instance. Now, to show you how the errors map to the document, if I reinstate that stage here and have a valid configuration file, and I remove or try to reference a template that doesn't exist. So let's say I make a typo here and save the file. I'm going to get a validation error, and we can see that this file is either empty or it does not exist. But that error maps exactly to the line at which it's at, and the user can jump to that. So if I'm all the way at the bottom of the document and I click this in my editor, it's going to bring me to that error. So not only can we get some basic validation, we can also get real programming language features by leveraging the GitLab CI/CD schema, as well as the data that comes back from Rails. So if I create a new stage here, let's call it the Angelo stage, and I also create a new job, and let's call this job new job, and I go ahead and try to reference the new stage, we can see that I've got this new Angelo stage. And just like any other programming language, when you declare a variable, we can reference that and get some basic language completion. So you can see that we have a new error now. This error is showing that this job is invalid because we're missing one of the required keywords. So let's go down and request a completion on this job schema and see what type of keywords we have available to us. In this case, we're looking for script, so we can do an auto completion for script, just like that. And I find myself copy and pasting a lot of scripts. I can, of course, reference any already existing script by requesting a completion on the existing data. And also, I can use the reference tag. And because this is a real programming language, I can request completions on the reference tag. So if I create an array here and I request a completion again, you can see that these are all the existing jobs. And let's say I want to, for some reason, extend this default job here, and I'm looking for a script, but there's no script keyword. So if I go over here and I add a script, and let's just do a basic script here, echo hello world, just like that. And I go over here, I can now add this script and reference that directly. And now we don't have an error. We also have the ability to leverage some more advanced language server features. So what do I mean by that? If I go to one of these template jobs here and I want to, which is a common operation when you're developing these files, I want to find all of the jobs that are extending this template here, this .node job template. So if I run this go to references command, you can now see that we have all of the jobs that actually extend this template. So I can go to any of them and view the job that's extending this job directly. On top of that, I can hover over and get a preview of what I'm extending. I can, of course, extend additional jobs. So I can go here and extend any new job that I want. And I can also go back by going to definition. So if I click this, I can go back to that job and fly around the document as fast as I want. This functionality isn't necessarily limited to just jobs. We can also apply the same thing to reference tags. So if I'm looking for any job that has a reference tag that refers to this rules key, I can go to references and go back here and find any job that actually leverages this rules key. Of course, I can preview it and also click on it and go back. So not only can we leverage the language server for bringing advanced language features to GitLab CI/CD, we can also use it for other features that we would want to use for GitLab. So if I'm ever including a lot of templates, as I am in this CI/CD config here, and I want to view the entire merge config that happens on my Rails instance, I can go ahead and run a code action. So I'm running this code action here, and I can see the entire merged CI/CD config by clicking this and opening up a temporary file. So now I have the ability to view the entire merge config directly in my editor without having to leave the editor at all. We can also leverage the new GitLab language server web views framework for bringing in some of the features that exist on the browser-based tools directly into the IDE. What do I mean by that? If I go into this CI validator tab, we now have a complete visualization, just like the pipeline editor within the IDE. So I can view, of course, what project I'm on, what branch I'm on in the editor, and of course, a full visualization of all the different jobs and stages. This visualization also updates in real time as I edit the document. So if I go to the stages and let's create a new build stage, and we create a new job for the stage, and we go ahead and save it, and we zoom out here, we can now see that we have the new build stage as well as the new job that we created, and we can also see the merge config for it as well. And just to show you the power of leveraging the language server, here's the entire thing also working in Neovim. So if I delete this script, which will result in an incorrect job, we now see the error in our diagnostics, of course. And of course, I can go down here and find all the references to the same node template that I was talking about before, and we can jump to any of them and go there, and then also go back to definition, and I can go back to one of the node jobs and then trigger hover to preview the job as well. So all of these features work out of the box because of the language server, and also I can pull up the browser here and visualize the exact same thing I was showing you before, but within my browser through Neovim. So yeah, that's a small preview of some of the features built in this POC. You'll be able to try out all the different features by downloading the extension. So let me know what you think. Have a great day.